Rusty here. I'm going to be getting started on this 1988 Mazda 323. I'm hoping it's just a blown head gasket. The guy I bought this car from said that they had replaced the head gasket, so I'm hoping they just didn't do it right. It was blowing a lot of air out of the radiator when the engine was running. And trying to overheat because the water wasn't circulating in the engine correctly because it had exhaust going into it, or compressed. You know, maybe it's not even exhaust, maybe it was on the compression stroke, who knows. But anyways, we're gonna get all this stuff out of the way. We got to take the head off and see what exactly was going on there. And if the block is cracked, well, might be the end of the road for this car. But if it's just the bad head gasket and we can be sure about it, we'll put it all back together and start driving this thing again. I would like to drive this car to be the one that gets the best gas mileage out of my current setup. So I'm going to get the time lapse going for you. I'm going to have to grab all the tools that I need, and I'm planning on putting my bolts and different brackets and stuff over there on that little makeshift table. And yeah, I'm gonna take the hood off. And I spray painted the bolts a couple days ago, so hopefully I can get the hood right back in the same exact location so it doesn't have any problems. But we get the hood off, we'll have better lighting and better accessibility for everything, especially in the back. And yeah, time to get cracking. I got a couple of days. I'd like to have this have this head off by maybe the middle of the day tomorrow. It's Friday afternoon right now, so I figure if I could have everything apart Saturday afternoon or maybe early evening, that would give me enough time to start putting it all back together. And I like to do that way because you don't forget how things went. The longer that thing sits taken apart, the worse it's going to be putting it back together. So, well, without further ado, we're going to get cracking. I'll do the time lapse for you, so you're not like watching 5 hours of video or something, wondering if I'm ever going to get it done. So, yeah, enjoy. All right, that was a pretty long stretch. So it looks like I still need to get this radiator hose off. And I made a scratch here. I don't know if the camera picks it up. There we go. So I can see where my timing was. My distributor was clocked. And I'm gonna have to take that distributor off. Looks like this whole housing probably comes off. Gotta get the water pump, the water thermostat housing off. And then it looks like I'll have access to all 3 bolts, maybe, or maybe there's only 2 bolts on that distributor. I'm not sure. I loosened up all the head bolts, and I got this cover off. But what I do need to do is I need to figure out how I'm going to mark this timing, and then I can go ahead and take that timing gear off and that timing belt off, and then the head should lift off. So I'm gonna look into that, and then I'll be right back as the head starts to come off. Okay, here's what we got. Those cylinders look pretty good. So I'm gonna say that that's not a cracked block that we're dealing with. That is probably just a blown head gasket, or maybe the gasket was never properly seated. I can't say for sure. I need to look at the head, flip it over and see. That's how the head gasket sits on the head. My guess is when they changed that head gasket, they never got it quite right. Let's see here. There's like gasket material in these holes, but it all feels nice and smooth. Hardly any wear on the piston. They look nice. I mean, this is the one that had water on it, I'm pretty sure, because these are dry. This is some oil, but this one feels like water. Anyways, let's take a look over here for the GoPro camera guys. See what exactly we're working with. Let me get my gloves on. I got some other gloves from AutoZone, but they're not as good as these orange ones. They're black. They didn't have the orange ones. These are a little bit thicker. Those other ones broke immediately when I tried to use them for something. Alright, let's pull these head bolts out. And there's washers on these head bolts, but we'll worry about that in a moment. Can't quite get that one. Oh well. There we go. Never give up. Alright. Let's flip this baby over. can't say anything definitive. Not really. Let's wipe it off with the paper towels. I don't want to mess up my timing by rotating the engine a bunch. My guess is that he changed that head gasket and never had it quite seated right. So I'm gonna put a new head gasket on it, put it all back together, and see where it goes from there. Of course, we'll smooth this down with a wire wheel. I think that'll be fine. Here's all these water ports. Looks like this one here maybe had a little bit of going on in the middle, in this one. But really, it's anybody's guess. It might have been on the intake, on the engine side. Let's take a look at the engine again. Okay. It definitely looks like these middle two pistons though, because you see how clean they are? That would have been from the water. Those other two pistons wouldn't clean up that much with just wiping them with the rag. See, they're quite corroded. They aren't corroded, but that's just how a piston looks, right? Yeah, it really just looks like that head gasket was never properly installed, which is what I guessed all along, because the engine runs great, but it just was overheating. Like, it wasn't really overheating, it was threatening to overheat. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode. In the next episode, we'll be putting it all back together with the new head gasket. I got the got this kit right here. I'll show you what I got. So I got this kit, and then you could see from the factory they got that gasket all jacked up. That's either the intake or exhaust. Oh, it's got to be intake because exhaust is gonna be that middle one, right? So then they went ahead and gave me a new one for free. Oh, it comes with these things for the valve cover. That's nice. So this gasket, we'll compare it, what we can see anyways. It's a little bit different design even. So maybe that's an upgrade. Maybe it's a downgrade, who knows. It's definitely got a little bit different design to it. So when it comes time to start reinstalling everything, we'll make sure everything's right. But it's possible that he bought the wrong head gasket, or it's possible they gave me the wrong head gasket, so who knows. But we'll see how it all plays out when we reinstall it. Maybe I pull it out of there and it's the same, but from where I'm looking right now, it looks like this gasket's a little bit different. Looks like these water ports are really pushing a lot of pressure. Maybe these are open. This is kind of messed up. Yeah, hard to tell. But thanks for watching. I'll be back on this one. For me, it's going to be tomorrow. I'm going to start getting back on it, but we'll see when the video drops. And hey, like and subscribe, and let's see if we can get this old car back on the road and running good. Thank you. Bye.